Batman the White Knight universe is an interesting take on Batman and one of my favorites. In our previous storylines, Joker became sane going by the name Jack Napier. He then ran for public office with the goal of proving that Batman was actually hurting Gotham City more than helping. It was proven that Batman was raising insurance rates and having no regard for civilians in the areas that he was fighting. But eventually, he defeated Jack Napier. Then Azrael showed up with the reveal that Bruce Wayne wasn't actually a Wayne, and that there was a deep, dark family secret. The city trusted Batman less and less until the final battle that led to Batman going to prison, where he discovered that his prison guard was Jason Todd, his original Robin that he thought was dead. That brings us to Beyond the White Knight, sometime later after these events, with Bruce Wayne in prison and his companies being run by others. That can't go wrong, right? This is Comicstorian. I create audio dramas of your favorite comic books, leaving out enough that there is still something for you to collect, be it an extra plot or context or the artwork. All alterations are for copyright purposes, and don't forget to check out our long-standing sponsors, G Fuel, where you can use the code COMICS to get 10% off of your order, or Shortboxed, a great app that will allow you to start your graded comic book collection today. Click the link down below to enter our contest to win a graded comic book. Now let's get into Beyond the White Knight issues 1 and 2. There's a chill in the air as young Terry McGinnis begins to descend down into the ruins of what used to be Wayne Manor. He reaches the bottom, stating that there are a lot of gizmos lying around. Surprised there's anything left to steal. Are you sure you don't need any of this stuff? The voice on the radio tells him that he was the one who created most of the tech that Wayne ever used. And Terry says, except for the special suit, right? The voice goes on to state that Wayne designed it on his own, the most powerful Batman suit ever created. But it ended up being so dangerous that he never wore it. Terry shines his light around, looking for something, until he says that he found it. Well, maybe it doesn't have a cape. Before long, two guards begin to scale down into the ruins, asking who's down there. This area is restricted to the public. The voice on the radio tells Terry to put on the suit, but Terry asks, "Wait, isn't that suit supposed to be dangerous?" As the guards get on the ground, they point their flashlights, yelling, "Hey you! This is a restricted area! Wait, what the hell is that?" And Terry stands up, wearing the Batman Beyond suit. All right, what's next? One of the guards walks forward with cuffs, telling him to stay where he is, but as Terry tries to push the man away, claws pop out of the gloves, and they rip the man's arm apart. Terry shouts, oh God, I'm sorry, and the other guard opens fire, with Terry easily punching him out with obviously enhanced strength. Before Terry could really go check on the men, the voice then tells him that he has hacked into the suit's computer. Spread your arms! Seconds later, retractable wings sprout out from beneath Terry's arms, and the suit takes off into the sky. Terry is panicking. This thing can fly! And the comms on his wrist light up as the face of Derek Powers appears, telling him, "Don't worry about it. With this suit, you have no reason to be afraid. Now come home." Meanwhile, over at Stonegate Penitentiary, a riot breaks out with the Sons of Azrael claiming that Gotham's true savior is not Batman, but that it is in fact Azrael. However, this time, they've taken a hostage, Captain Jason Todd. While the guards argue over what to do since budget cuts have left them with half a force, the now much older Bruce Wayne walks up, taking one of the shock batons from the guards, telling the man leading the riot to release the captain. After not getting an answer, he fights his way closer, and the leader asks, "And why should I spare this man?" And Bruce tells him because Jean-Paul owes him a debt for saving his life. He is asking that they honor that debt by sparing the captain. The leader points out, stating that Azrael told them about this debt. He has a great respect for him. He might be an enemy, but like their father, he too was a great warrior and a man of honor. The Sons of Azrael agree to release the son of Batman. Consider the debt paid. Bruce then takes Jason and throws him into a cell, and Jason groans. After all of these years, you got what you wanted. Some quality time together. Wasn't that a part of the deal with Montoya? You'd stand trial and do your time, but only if she dragged me with you? Bruce slams Jason against the wall. You could have said no. Must be a part of you that still needs closure. But Jason slaps his hand away. That and a paycheck. Bruce steps back, sitting down against the wall, telling him, I've spent the last several years in my cell reading, reflecting, and meditating, doing my best to figure out how this all went wrong. More so with you being the first, but the same with Dick, Barbara, Tim. What they all needed was a father figure, but I was so strung up in my ways, I could never be that for them. That is why things are the way they are with the family. So if this is my only chance to speak to you, just know, I'm sorry, Jason. Suddenly there's a rumble as a tank bursts into the cell block and Grayson jumps out. Any prisoner caught resisting arrest will be punished, or worse, use whatever force necessary. As Grayson's officers all spread out, taking down some of the other inmates, Bruce notices the GTO uniform is a bit different. It's now branded with Wayne Powers on it. Bruce calls out to Grayson, asking him, "What the hell is this, and why does the GTO now look like Batman?" Grayson looks back and doesn't even answer him. Instead, Duke telling him, "A lot's changed. Come on, I'll bring you up to speed." After your trial, Powers moved in. As the CEO of Wayne Motors, he was able to stop the company as a whole from dissolving. He then got the city to give him millions from the Wayne charity funds so that he could build new bat tech for a bigger, beefed up GTO. The GTO essentially ended crime in Gotham, but it came with a price. That's why the budget's gotten so tight in places like this. Powers uses a ton of the city's funding to fuel the GTO, except the GCPD has been pulled back. Bruce shouts, asking, "Are you telling me that Powers hijacked the Wayne fortune to make himself rich, and he stole the company and turned it into a weapons manufacturer, and Gotham is now a police state patrolled by an army of supercharged Batmen?" Duke stops. It gets even worse. This was recorded 3 hours ago in Wayne Manor. Duke holds out a tablet showing somebody wearing the Batman Beyond suit. And Bruce says that this isn't a coincidence. Powers is behind all of this. He needs to be stopped. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the home of Harley Quinn, Harley gets ready for dinner when her son Bryce says that the news report is talking about a new Batman. And Bryce asks, "Do you think Uncle Bruce knows?" Harley tells him that they don't talk about his Uncle Bruce anymore. And Bryce asks, "Why? Why did you stop visiting?" Harley sighs. "It's a long story. Now go get cleaned up for dinner. And where's your sister? She should be home by now." As she finishes speaking, the front door creaks open and Harley gasps. Her daughter, Jackie, steps in. "Sorry I'm late, Puddin'." Harley yells for her to never call her that again, and then Jackie flaunts her Batman shirt. "Do you like it? I found it in Dad's old stuff. There's some blood on it too. Might be Dad's or Uncle Bruce's." Harley yells, "That was the Joker shirt, not Jack's." Jackie asks her, "What's the difference?" Harley slaps her daughter, who wipes the blood from her nose, telling her, "Maybe this is who I am. The whole city knows that Bryce is the good one, so maybe I'm supposed to be more like the Joker, and that scares you." Harley grits her teeth, asking, "What the hell's gotten into you?" So Jackie walks up to her room, telling her that she discovered her secret. She found new interesting details about her and Dad. But as Harley follows Jackie up to her room, Jackie has already snuck out the back. But there's something on her computer that was left open. Bryce hurries over to read the news headline that Joker was killed by Quinn. And he asks, "Is that true, Mom?" Back over at Stonegate, Bruce uses an ATM card that he stole from Duke to short out the electricity that kept his cell door locked, and he sneaks out, making his way towards the exit. But a voice stops him, telling him that he is only a few months away from a patrol hearing. "Are you sure you want to do this? Batman is still out there, and if I don't fix this, more lives will be ruined. I thought about what you said before, Bruce, about how Batman failed me. But really, I failed Batman. I failed him by getting caught by the Joker, and then again when I gave you up. It took me months to recover, but I decided that it was time to return. But that's when I saw him, Dick Grayson. I thought being Robin was our thing, that I could never be replaced. And that's when I set on a different path, doing whatever was needed to pay the bills." Bruce grabs him. "You are not replaceable. You're special, Jason, and you left a giant hole in my heart. One that I have been trying to fill ever since. But everything is going to be all right now." Jason then says that Gotham is different now. It's unrecognizable. It looks like a futurescape. And now you're going after the two most powerful people, Powers and Batman. You're going to need help, a lot of it. And Bruce asks, "Are you going to be okay, Jason?" Jason pauses for a moment and tells him, "I'll give you 10 minutes before I sound the alarm. Go." Bruce turns, jumping off the balcony into the sewers, and then he begins to hear a voice. Problem is, Bruce can hear this voice loud and clear, even underwater. The voice keeps directing him, and as Bruce climbs up onto the docks, he looks up the ladder and says, "No, it's impossible. Harley Quinn killed you." At the top of the stairs is a well-dressed Joker smiling down at him. However, part of our story begins just about a month ago with how the young Terry McGinnis got involved with Derek Powers. Having lost his father and now being a 17-year-old with nothing left to lose, Terry hunted down the man responsible for his father's murder. Just before killing the hitman, Terry was picked up by the GTO, but Powers himself came out to stop him from going to jail. He offered Terry an opportunity, one the young juvenile could hardly refuse. You see, Terry's father, Warren, had worked for Powers before his murder on something known as the Project. Something so important that it required all of Warren McGinnis's time. With his passing, he'd like for Terry to continue the work, along with helping him find the people responsible for Warren's death. Even though Fix was the gunman, someone hired him. And if he agrees to help, he'll have the power to take his revenge and not even the GTO can stop him. Terry thinks about it and looks at Powers. I'm listening. Powers tells him good. Now, what do you know about the Batman? Back in our current time with Bruce, he instinctively lunges forward, punching it, but his fist goes right through the Joker. He tries a few more times with no luck, but then he puts his arm through and waves, asking, "Wait, are you even real?" Joker tells him to sit, relax. "I'll explain everything, Mercy. You might be thinking that you're having some sort of hallucination, or that your psyche is challenging you. You know, to give you that little bit of extra spunk. I mean, who's Batman without the Joker?" Bruce tells him that he's a hologram. "But where is the projection coming from?" Joker tells him, "I'm inside your head. Remember all those years ago when I kicked your ass on the rooftop? I remember you getting lucky. The GTO blinded me with the bat signal and Jim gave me a concussion with a stolen Batmobile, so it wasn't exactly a fair fight. Perhaps. But I was the one who created the GTO, remember? Orchestrated the entire night. So yeah, I 100% kicked your ass." "Is that when you put the microchip in my head when I was unconscious? Something you stole from the Hatter?" And Joker tells him, "It was a clever idea though, right?" Bruce screams to get out of his head, but then he gasps as he falls to his knees. "There's something wrong with my chest. Heart attack. I can't breathe." Joker tells him that he's not having a heart attack, and Bruce asks, "How do you know?" "Because I'm watching your vitals. What you are having is a panic attack." "How could I?" And Joker asks him, "How could you not? Look at your history. How could you not have anxiety, childhood trauma, lifetime of obsessive behavior?" Bruce shouts again, "Who are you?" And the Joker pulls out a little Batman pin and clips it on his vest. "I'm here to help you and Harley Quinn." But it wasn't long before Grayson arrives to rearrest Bruce, shouting for him to get on the ground and put his hands behind his head. "You need to listen. I know who stole the Batman suit. It was Derek Powers. He hired someone to steal it out of the Batcave, Dick." Grayson tells him, "Derek Powers saved the city and succeeded where you failed. He ended crime in Gotham. Now stop being paranoid and imagining things." Bruce looks at the Joker. "I wish that was the case." And Joker asks, "Was that a dig at me?" Grayson suits up, taking out his shock baton, and Joker says, "I can see Grayson's heart rate increasing. He's about to do something." Grayson leaps forward swinging, and though Bruce manages to hold him back for a bit, his old age shows when Grayson manages to get a hit in with the baton that sends him back to the ground. Grayson tells him, "Face it, the GTO's achieved what you have always worked for by doing what Batman wouldn't. I am downloading the blueprints to that Batsuit looking for weaknesses and back of the knee. Use the baton, Bruce." Grayson then begins to walk forward, telling him, "Let Gotham remember you for your prime, not like this." Once Grayson gets close enough, Bruce goes in with the baton, snatching it out of Grayson's hold, using it to stab him in the back of the knee. The electrical shock shorts out the GTO suit. And Bruce asks, "Is he gonna be okay?" Grayson asks him, "Who are you talking to?" But Joker informs him, "Oh, he'll be fine. The suit's shorted out, but the battery will recharge quickly." Bruce then begins to tie up Grayson. "Look, I'm sorry, but you took the wrong lessons from everything I tried to teach you. If you want to protect Gotham, you imprison the criminals, not the entire city." After taking Grayson's grappling gun, Joker tells him, "See? You can totally trust me!" Bruce tells him, "You just gave me tactical advice and I went with it. We're a long way from trust. Right now, I need to get off the streets and become a ghost, and I might just have the place and the thing." After leaving, Barbara walks up to the tied-up Grayson. "Oh man, this must really piss you off. Even with all that technology in your suit, you still got your ass handed to you by a man in his 60s. Grayson yells to put out an APB for Bruce, and Barbara is disgusted that he thinks that he outranks her. They go on going back and forth about the current state of things, with her kind of throwing in the fact that he gave up on their relationship. And then he stuck his nose in, removing everyone's freedom. Before putting in the APB, she just tells Dick simply he should be happy that Bruce escaped. He's finally going to give the GTO a challenge. Later, across the town, Bruce stops on a rooftop with the Joker telling him that there aren't any cameras and sensors. He should be all right. Bruce sneaks into a lower level with the Joker gasping, "I knew it, a bat suit! In black and yellow, very retro! You're going to wear it, right?" But before he can answer, a voice says that he has not had contact for years, and now he's sneaking around the basement without even saying hello. The Joker looks back. "Oh my God. I thought I'd be prepared for this moment, but I'm speechless." Harley Quinn walks up and Bruce tells her that he'll be leaving shortly. He didn't think that she'd want to see him, he just needed a few. Harley Quinn says of course she wants to see him. He isn't just her closest friend. He's her husband. Joker stares for a moment. Okay, back it up a second. I feel like I miss a very important point of this. And there you have it, issues 1 and 2 of Beyond the White Knight. Now, there was a spin-off story that came out between 2 and 3, and that was a Harley Quinn story, and I'll probably be bringing that to you as a full story at some point very soon. And you get more Beyond the White Knight as issues 3 and 4 are already out, so I recommend going out and buying them yourself, or just wait until next week when we cover it right here at Comicstorian. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you next time right here at the channel.